Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Tiffany and welcome to the Tiffany Club, where we are rediscovering some of the greatest classic films throughout history. Today we are continuing our Wild Wild Westerns in August series with the film Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Before we get started, I would like to shout out my Golden Oscar patrons. Thank you all so much for becoming a VIP Tiffany Club member and supporting the channel. If you'd like to get your hands on the full monthly schedule, have early access to our videos, and have access to our Movies With Mia live streams, then I highly suggest that you check out that Patreon link in the description box below. For those of you who aren't quite interested in becoming a VIP member, however, you still want to support the channel, why not give a super thanks? Giving a super thanks is super easy. Click on the heart icon titled Thanks, which is located right above the subscribe button. Choose the amount you would like to donate for a one-time donation. Add your debit, credit, or PayPal information, and then hit buy. If that's something that you're interested in, then I highly encourage you to give a super thanks. And thanks, it is greatly appreciated. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid was released in 1969, starring Paul Newman, Robert Redford, and Katharine Ross. Okay, on to a quick synopsis of the film. It says two outlaws are on the run after a botched train robbery. I'm so excited to watch this film. Okay, so at this point we are going to get into some historical background. For those of you who want to jump right onto the film reaction, go for it. But for those of you who want to stay, we're going to get right into it. Robert Leroy Parker was born in Utah in 1866, and he started out working as a laborer. However, he soon found out that a life of crime was much more appealing. So Parker had joined a gang headed by a man called Mike Cassidy, and he decided to take the last name of his leader once he joined the gang. Now, it's said that the name Butch had come from a nickname that was given to him as a joke because of his time working as a butcher. Harry Longabaugh was born in the eastern region of the United States. Some people say it was Pennsylvania, other people say it was New Jersey. We don't really know for sure. All we know is that he was born around the time of 1867. Now, Longabaugh, aka the Sundance Kid, had joined Butch Cassidy's gang after meeting him in jail. So Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, along with their crew, the Wild Bunch, had staged countless successful train heists and bank robberies during their lifetime. The novelist turned screenwriter William Goldman was fascinated with the legend of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and he decided to create a screenplay centered around the legend. Now, the finished screenplay had been tossed between different studios because nobody wanted to create the film. Now, eventually 20th Century Fox's studio head Richard D. Zanuck, who was actually the son and successor of Daryl Zanuck, bought the screenplay for $400,000. After that, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid was officially in business. Okay, now on to some interesting facts. So, Goldman had originally written this screenplay with the idea that Jack Lemmon would play the role of Butch Cassidy and Paul Newman would play the role of the Sundance Kid. So later on down the road, Steve McQueen actually became quite interested in playing the role of Butch Cassidy. However, due to billing disagreements, Steve McQueen would back out of the project, and the studio started looking at different actors such as Marlon Brando and Warren Beatty to play against Paul Newman. So much to the studio's dismay, director George Roy Hill decided to put Paul Newman into the role of Butch Cassidy and cast Robert Redford for the role of the Sundance Kid. And at this time, Robert Redford wasn't as well known as Paul Newman, so the studio wasn't happy with that, but I mean, eventually they relented and the rest was history. Now, with that being said, I am so excited to get into this film. I think this is the latest film that we've done on this channel, so I'm kind of excited to watch it. But before we do, y'all already know the deal. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification to stay in the loop. All right, everyone, it is time to grab your snacks, grab your drinks, and let's get into Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Hi everyone, how are you? It has been a couple of days since I filmed the intro of this video, so that's why I look a little different right now. So I just want to let you guys know that, so you're not like, oh my god, why is she wearing different clothes suddenly? It's because it's like 3 days later. So, alright, let's get into it. Okay, I like this intro. Hold on a second, this is something different. It's so simple. The music is like, the notes are so simple, and yet it kind of tugs at my heartstrings a little. I think it's because of the melody of the song. There's that zoom in. Oh, and Paul Newman. That rhymed. There's that zoom in and Paul Newman.
What happened to the old bank? It was beautiful. People kept robbing it.
Oh, they put extra security on that bank. You can't rob it if there's all those locks on it.
Well, looks like you just about cleaned everybody out, fella. What's the secret of your success?
Prayer.
I know we just started, okay? But I'm already noticing he has this like cowboy charisma that we've seen this month throughout all the films that we watched. He already has this like cowboy charisma, and I'm absolutely here for it.
The money stays, and you go.
If he invites us to stay, then we'll go.
We're gonna leave anyway.
He's got to invite us to stick around.
I really like how they have the camera situated on Robert Redford versus having us kind of looking at the different characters in their faces, because we're really seeing his reaction to this situation, which is completely unfazed, and I live for that.
I can't help you, Sundance.
I didn't know you were the Sundance Kid when I said you were cheating.
Ooh, he didn't even know. The realization on his face when he realized that that was Sundance.
I just stick around.
Thanks, but we gotta get going.
Oh my god, the tension in this scene is fantastic.
Hey, kid, how good are you?
He literally used his gun to move the man's gun out of his holster and across the room. What? Talk about good with a gun, wow. And did you see how Butch just ran out of the way? Oh, and we got it. Oh, I like that nice change into Technicolor. I think it's a treasure that we get to see this film, and the fact that they shot it on location in multiple locations, we get beautiful landscapes throughout this film, so I'm very much looking forward to that, and I already see that in like present in this scene.
You fellas got everything I told you all wrong. Now, Sundance and me, we've been checking the banks.
No banks.
You can tell that there is such a change in cameras and in the technology that was available to filmmakers at this time just by way of the camera movement. There's so much movement in the camera in this scene, and it allows the filmmakers to tell a more interesting story and have the audience really feel like they're a part of the film.
Well, I run things here, Harvey.
This don't concern you.
He's silent, like I didn't even say anything. Wow, this man really wants to challenge Butch.
Well, that's because everything's different now. It's harder now. You gotta plan more. You gotta prepare more.
Guns or knives?
We're starting to see again that this way of life, you know, being bandits and robbers is starting to change with the times, which I think is a very central theme in a lot of Westerns. So yeah, I like that. That's kind of one of the themes that's being played within this film.
Not until me and Harvey get the rules straightened out. Someone count 1, 2, 3, go.
1, 2, 3, go.
He just took down a man that is literally 2 feet taller than him.
Well, Harvey said we'd hit it both this run and the return.
Harvey thought of that?
Yes, sir, he did.
It's like a shamelessness to Butch that I think just works for his character.
Stop it. Where? Up ahead there.
I feel like Sundance is more of a man of action, where Butch is more of like the flashier one.
You know who we are.
You're the hole-in-the-wall gang, Mr. Cassidy.
You think E.H. Harriman would get himself killed for you?
Woodcock is literally negotiating with the robbers of this train. Instead of like action, it's all in dialogue, and I think that's where the comedy lies in it, because usually this would all happen like quick, but the fact that they're like the fact that they're negotiating with each other and he's like, dude, you're gonna get blown up, this is going to happen, I just think that is hilarious.
I work for Mr. E.H. Harriman, and he entrusted me.
I do like though how this film is kind of, the perspective is now where the protagonists are like the bandits, and we're kind of like, oh no, I don't want Butch Cassidy or the Sundance Kid to get caught. Like, I kind of want them to keep going because this is their story, you know? It's just interesting to be on the other side and see it from that perspective. Oh, he's still alive. Hey, at least he's still alive.
Whatever Harriman's paying you ain't enough.
That decade of the 60s, there was so much going on. There was so much change in society and media. And so just to be able to see it kind of come into fruition on screen is such a treasure.
Yeah, well, how many of you are going to want me to supply you with guns?
Nobody raises their hand. We have another case of a sheriff/marshal asking townspeople to help him run off some bandits, and nobody wants to help him. Does that sound familiar to anyone?
You want me to go off all alone? But I don't think that's what you want, is it?
I love how he's trying to convince them. He's like, you don't want your kids to see you as cowards, right? And everyone's like, dude, we don't care. They're probably gone already. It's funny.
Why don't we enlist?
I'd be Major Parker.
When's Longbow? What do you say?
Oh, that's kind of sweet that they shared their names with each other. It adds to like the trust or the bond that they have with each other. Because you're not just going to give your name to any random person. You know, you have to have some sort of trust with them. So that was a cute little scene.
And you are riding with me, am I right?
No.
The future mode of transportation for this weary Western world.
He's selling a bike. He's a salesman that literally stole the marshal's thunder. Because nobody wants to join this posse with this marshal. Poor guy.
I think I'll get saddled up and go looking for a woman.
I'm not picky, as long as she's smart.
Oh my god, I love the dialogue in this. It's like comedic, but it's like a dry humor. It's not trying to be funny. It's not like a comedy in your face. It's like very dry humor that's blended so well into the style of this film. And I really enjoy that.
Keep going, teacher lady.
Oh my god, he's just like literally watching. I would feel so uncomfortable.
Do you know what I wish?
What?
That once you'd get here on time.
Oh, so she knows him. Okay. Okay, wait, that changed the whole scene. I did not know that she knew him. Okay, that makes sense now.
Your soft white flesh is mine.
Ew.
Soft. Meet the future.
Do you know what you're doing?
I just like these more lighthearted moments because it really does help the audience connect with these men, even though they're supposed to be like the bad guys, quote unquote. So it's really cute that they added this scene in. Also, the fact that he's doing all of those bicycle stunts is ridiculous. I wonder if he like knew how to do it, or if like he had to train, or if he just did it in the moment as instinct. I don't know.
Raindrops are falling on my head because I'm free.
I also love this song, but then also like the lighting pattern that they're using. It's like this honey glowy like morning feeling, and then the song is really fun and upbeat. Like if this was a way to showcase that song, I don't know if it was, but if it was a fantastic way to do it.
What are you doing? Stealing your woman? Take her.
He said take her. What? This might be a stretch. And I wasn't born during this time, so you know, what do I know, right? But I feel like that's so reminiscent of like the summer of love, you know, where it's like everything is free and open and in the air. I'm getting that sense. So I wonder if that had some influence on their relationship.
Yeah, I thought gambling I could certainly fight you.
We got no time for this.
She is like, I have been through enough in my life. I will take you if I need to. I respect her. She's a queen.
All I want is for somebody to start this train.
Thy will be done.
They got him. They absolutely got him. Wow, how clever.
Well, that ought to do it.
They blew the whole car of the train. Completely over anticipated that one. Wow.
Whatever they're selling, I don't want it.
Oh man, they are coming for them. This is the perfect movie to utilize those like extreme zoom-ins. There's like guns, there's action, there's all this like all these things going on, and it's just the perfect film to be using those like super zoom-ins. It works so well in this film. Oh my gosh.
Hey, Butch! What?
They're very good.
They're very good. Yeah, they are very good. I would start going in zigzag. I always heard that if you're being shot at, you either run or you, like, if you're on a horse like them, you just start going zigzag. I don't know if you can do that on a horse, but that's what you do. That's what I heard that you do.
Many were following us.
All of them?
All of them?
Man, they caught them in the act, which means that somebody told those men about Butch and Sundance.
I think we lost him. Do you think we lost him?
No.
No.
Neither do I.
I mean, like your prints are in the sand. What are you gonna do?
Seen us ride through town not 5 minutes ago.
Just like that, huh? I mean, never mind the fact that they're literally being chased by a bunch of men on horses.
You realize you're driving me crazy staring out the window like that?
Oh my god, and he's just like, what? Their relationship is so very interesting. Because it's like they're not, it almost feels like they're not uncomfortable with each other. They're very comfortable with each other. It's a very interesting character dynamic.
You know, I swear, if he told me I rode out of town 10 minutes ago, I'd believe him.
Don't ask me to stay.
He's like, I am leaving for that.
I never did. I always said Agnes.
Oh man, Sweet Face gave him up. Time to go.
This'll work!
Oh, they abandoned one of the horses. I think that was actually a smart idea.
Whatever it is that you come up with is fine with me, but whatever it is that you come up with, it better be now.
Oh dang, they broke into the sheriff's office. That is some boldness right there.
Your times is over, and you're gonna die bloody, and all you can do is choose where.
I like this reoccurring theme of this is an old way of life, things are changing, and you either get with the times or you die out with the way of life. It's very, very interesting that that's kind of a running theme in these westerns. Oh, I hear something. Oh, they're coming. I see them. The fact that they're so close to them and they're able to constantly like be within within sight of them, you know, I think it's kind of cool, but it's kind of terrifying at the same time. In this film, we're seeing a lot less music and a lot more of the silence and the waiting, and it kind of adds to the anxiety and the tension and the suspense of this scene. It's like, what's going to happen? It actually kind of reminds me of like older slasher films when it's like the music crescendos and then it's silent for a second, and then that's when the killer strikes. It kind of reminds me of that, but definitely love the utilization of the silence. It really adds intensity to the scene. Oh, he actually shot a lizard. Wow. It's like, what did you expect? The subtle comedy in this film, it's just so well blended with the action sequences and the suspense sequences as well. It's like just such a beautiful blending.
We got to talking to some gambler that night, and he told us about an Indian. And he could track anybody. The guy on the ground, I think it's him.
Wow, so whoever wants them found literally hired like a top-notch tracker to find them. So they're like really being tracked down.
Who's the best lawman?
Joe LaForce?
Look at that guy out front.
It looks like he's wearing a white straw hat. You two are famous. They are literally pulling men out of places that, like, they're saying, like, these men would never leave Oklahoma. They would never leave Wyoming. And yet, there they are, tracking you. Like, surprise, you're on camera. Like, they are the celebrities of the hour right now. They have the best of the best tracking these two men. That's crazy.
Damn it!
Oh, man. They're at a dead end. And guess what? Those men are coming. You better jump.
The next time I say let's go someplace like Bolivia, let's go someplace like Bolivia.
Next time. Ready?
No, we'll jump.
I was gonna say, just jump. Oh, but there are some jagged rocks at the bottom of that cliff.
What's the matter with you? I can't swim!
Oh, there it is. That's it. all that fight and trouble, you would rather risk your life. Well, I guess then risk your life, right?
Oh, shit!
fantastic. Wow. I love that he screamed.
Joking me, I can't swim! I'm telling you, I'm going to Patron, I swear to God.
They're like they're literally like swimming down this river, just bickering the whole way. Oh my God. It's like, I can't swim. I bet those men are like, wow, they are crazy.
They said you were dead.
Don't make a big thing out of it. No, make a big thing out of it.
Oh, I love that we get that like soft spot, you know, like Sundance isn't a man of many words, but then we also get that like his soft spot, and his soft spot is her, you know, and I think that that's really sweet that that's also incorporated into his story.
If Mr. Harriman has his way.
Who?
Mr. E.H. Harriman of the Union Pacific Railroad.
Oh, it was E.H. Harriman. That makes so much sense. They pissed off the wrong tycoon. Yep. And now they're like paying for it.
Wherever the hell Bolivia is, that's where we're off to.
Oh, they got all nice and dressed up. I like it. As we get closer to more modern films, I feel like the attention to detail is becoming more of a standard in these films. Now, I'm not saying that there wasn't attention to detail in older classic films. I'm just saying coming out of like the 50s when it wasn't really about like period accuracy, coming from that to now this, we're starting to see more consistency in the time period because of the creative freedom that they had. And off they go for Bolivia. Uh-oh, we're back into the sepia. Ooh. I like how they brought us back into the sepia tone. I think that that's kind of cool that they switch in and out between sepia and Technicolor. It's very cool. Oh my God, and it's like old-timey photos. What a fantastic way to tell a montage, you know, through these more vintage photos. I like the creativeness of that. I think apart from the 1930s, I think I've said this before, but this is my favorite moment in cinematic history because there's so much change in film and there's so much to explore with in terms of theme, in terms of technology, style, emotion. There's so much more to explore with in film. They look so underwhelmed. Definitely wasn't what they were expecting. He looks so mad. He's like, what? They're really trying to like look at that little piggy.
Bolivia.
Do you see those little pigs? They're so adorable. He doesn't know. Oh, he has no idea what that guy is saying, and he literally told Sundance, I can speak Spanish, and he cannot. That is so unfortunate.
Esto es un robo.
He's pissed.
This is supposed to be a unison recipe.
I love that she's teaching them like terms in Spanish that are only to be used for robberies. That's the only thing they would need Spanish for.
Manos arriba!
They got him up! Skip on down!
Arriba!
He's like, are you serious right now? We are in the middle of a robbery and you need to refer to your little cheat sheet? What?
Without a crib sheet.
They're like an old married couple, just bickering. That was just honestly pitiful. Like, just a pitiful bank robbery. Oh, man. And now the police are after him. I don't really think that was a wise thing to do because that word could get back out to the men that were following them in the United States. I like that this scene is inaudible with the music over it. It's just such a different way to show the scene, you know? He just let him right into that bank. He's just letting two randos into this bank? What kind of security is this? Oh, yeah, you're being robbed. And that is your own fault, sir. Because you literally opened the door for two random people. It's the man in the straw hat! They caught up with them. Oh, man. I knew it. I knew they were being way too, like, carefree and laid back about all these banks that they're robbing. I knew it. Ooh, got him.
You mean we got jobs?
Payroll guard.
Payroll guard. So their job their job is to guard the payroll from the bandits. What? That's hilarious.
In the bushes on the left.
I'm telling you, they're in the trees up ahead.
Nobody is going to rob us going down the mountain.
It's like, you guys are idiots.
Give me a hand over here. About a half hour more and we can start to worry.
I feel like this could be, somehow this could be a setup for the two men. Like, maybe that guy's working with the guys that are trying to find them. I don't know. But I feel like it has a sort of setup-y type vibe to it.
Bingo. I'm colorful. Get colorful.
Oh my god, they got ambushed. Oh my god, that guy was just like talking and then just like that gone.
Where are they? Can't see them.
Also, how is it that that man has made that trip probably countless times, and the one time he's with the two bandits, he freaking dies? How does that work? How does that happen? What?
Let's get out of here.
Ooh. Man, they got snipers in the mountains, in the trees, and they know that land too.
Venga, Pastor. Usted ya le di también. Dame más. Estoy muy poco.
Oh, and you know what? They're in those like neutral colors, so there's no way that they could have seen them in those mountains, because they practically blend into the landscape.
Ahora es de nosotros.
I never shot anybody before.
One hell of a time to tell me.
That is the worst time to tell him. Just bad timing. Oh my goodness.
Por favor. Por favor.
He's a bandit, but he never wanted to hurt anybody. I read that in the legend, that Butch Cassidy wasn't the type of man to use gunfire or like to pull his gun unless it was absolutely necessary. He did not like fighting with guns. Man, I feel like the tables just turned a little bit.
What about a ranch then?
Last time we tried ranch was during our wrestling days.
There's so much remorse in Butch's eyes. Like, he truly is feeling the weight of taking a man's life, and that's something that we haven't seen in these classic films. Very cool that we got to see that in this film.
I might go back ahead of you.
Edda's thinking of maybe going home ahead of us.
Whatever she wants.
She's like ready to go home. This lifestyle is taking its toll, and I think that these characters are realizing, or at least Edda's realizing, that, you know, this life is not going to last very much longer. You can only run away from it for so long.
Manos arriba.
Allí está. Dos hombres la acaban de traer. Están comiendo en el restaurante de mi papá.
Oh my god, I think that they stole the horses of that little boy's father. So he's reporting it to the police. Oh, this could be their downfall. Wow, immediate standoff. I'm telling you, they're so, like, their lack of caution is not good. They need to take more caution.
We're gonna run out unless we can get to that mule and get some more.
I like that we still kind of get a standoff in this film. Oh, I have a sick feeling that they're gonna die. Oh my god, I feel like I don't know who to root for though, because I'm like, they're the bad guys, but I don't want them to die, but I also don't want them to shoot at the cops. It's a very conflicting feeling I'm feeling right now. Oh my god. Why does this feel so much more on edge than any standoff I've seen this month? Like, I'm actually getting nervous. Oh, he got it. Oh my god, he got hit. Man, this is a lot grittier than, you know, some of the classic films we've seen. Again, another indicator that we are really evolving here. There's a lot more grittiness. The feel is a lot, like, kind of darker almost. I don't know.
¿Cuántos hombres son? Dos hombres.
Whew.
Dos hombres. Mi capitán, por favor.
Dos? Yep.
Bandidos yanquis.
They called in the cavalry, baby. They are not going to make it out of this one. And they know that those are the banditos yanquis. Like, it's a done deal. It's it. Oh man, they're done. They're done for. There's no way. I feel like this is Bonnie and Clyde a little bit. Like, just that feeling of the end. The thrill is over, the end is near.
You didn't see LaForce out there, did you? LaForce? No. For a moment there, I thought we were in trouble.
They're like bantering and like kind of witty. Their dialogue is witty all the way until, you know, all the way until the end. Oh, I like the way that they ended that. What a fantastic way to end it. Wow. I just thought that was a fantastic film. I mean, you truly saw the excitement in just in the way that the movie was written, in the way that the movie was styled. Just the excitement of the filmmakers, that they have all this new technology and all this new creative freedom. You really felt that throughout this film. Paul Newman and Robert Redford, their chemistry was fantastic. And we really connected with them as an audience, so that at the end there, when, you know, we knew that it was the end of the line and we knew that they weren't going to make it through this, I kind of felt for them. I felt with them, and I didn't want them to get hurt, because you kind of fall in love with the characters. I'm sure that people watching that at the time were like, what am I supposed to feel? Because they're bad guys, but I'm like falling in love with them, and I'm like, I don't want them to get hurt. So the way that that was orchestrated was fantastic. So overall, honestly, I want to give it a 10, just because of the style and the excitement that's infused in this film. So definitely a 10 for me. Thank you guys so much for watching it with me. All right, everybody, that does it for this video. As always, if you liked it as much as I did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification to stay in the loop. Alright, so in the next video, we are going to be finishing our Wild Wild Westerns in August series with the most iconic Western of them all. We are going to be watching Sergio Leone's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I am so excited to watch this film. I've heard so many different things about it. If you haven't seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, then I highly suggest that you check it out, either in its entirety or just check a quick synopsis of it online. Then come back with all of your movie facts and your movie insights, and we're going to talk about it in the comments. If you have a movie that you'd like to recommend, then go ahead and check out that recommendation form. Also, please feel free to continue recommending in the comment section. Thank you to all of the subscribers. Thank you to all of the viewers. Y'all, please stay safe and healthy out there, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye, everybody.